So going back to, I know we've kind of talked about different accomplishments and things like that. And going back to the same young lady that we were just talking about, at first when she was coming in, she was having a really hard time with her anxiety. And she had not been out of the school system very long, but she had a lot of social anxiety and at first came in and had to leave immediately. And she gave it another chance and gave it another chance. And now she actually just started a peer support group for others living with the same condition that she has. She's looking into starting her own podcast. And I think it's been really a big inspiration for her to, not only become healthier and live her greatest quality of life, but also, become an entrepreneur and help others using what she's learned. So I think that was a huge thing for me to see. And then just a reminder that it's not just about the physical body.
Welcome to the Voices United in Education podcast. Each week, we showcase the teachers, administrators, and community members who go the extra mile to contribute to the success of every student in Escambia County. You'll meet the real people behind the titles and learn about the amazing resources to support every student's success. For many, the term athlete is an identity, one that not only shapes how challenges are viewed, but how community is formed. But where can kids with physical disabilities go to exercise both their mindset and their bodies? My next guest was a softball superstar and the head softball coach at Pine Forest from 2013 to 2016. She is also paralyzed from an accident during her sophomore year of college. Today, she's going to share the importance of pursuing physical fitness, regardless of ability, and how she's making that possible for everyone at her adaptive gym, Project 7. Wellness warrior, community builder, Pine Forest graduate, Tara Blackwell. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad to see you again.
Yeah, you too. I can't believe that April 9th is not just the 19th anniversary of your accident, but the 5th anniversary of your gym. I feel like it just opened.
Yeah, me too. I think I was here either right after it opened or right before. But yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing, honestly. It was hard for me to imagine getting past like year 1, and here we are, year 5.
Exactly, because people don't realize that opening an adaptive gym is not like some of these group women fitness centers. No offense to them. You can't just throw some kettlebells in a room and hire some stay-at-home moms with a Madonna mic to walk you through it.
Absolutely not.
So tell me, what all was involved to get that gym started, because it was a lot of special consideration put in because it's an adaptive gym.
Absolutely. I think first and foremost, experience. It took me 14 years to even come up with the idea of it. And that was because I had, visited multiple physical therapy offices, multiple world-renowned therapy. I had traveled all over to visit different physical and occupational therapy offices in regards to, spinal cord injury and physical disability. It obviously takes not only a specialized trainer, but a special human being. So I think that was first and foremost for me, was finding the right person for the job.
So when you say person, are you talking about your coaches?
Yes, we do. We have personal trainers, and they are all certified, but most of them have been through either their bachelor's or their master's in exercise science.
So they have a full understanding of more specialized care when it comes to injury, recovery, different complications that would be presenting in someone who has a spinal cord injury or maybe who has spina bifida or cerebral palsy.
Yes.
Things that you wouldn't necessarily see at a typical gym.
Yes. And just, we don't have a set criteria, but we do ongoing education. So I'll have every now and then, for a bonus, I'll have my trainers write a report on a certain condition just to, better educate themselves, but, learn and be able to teach one another because, all of our trainers deal with different conditions.
Wow, that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Because, the exercise science world and the technology, the combination of those two things, the adaptive equipment, it's always emerging.
Yes.
So to give your employees paid time to look into that is really distinctive.
Yeah.
I don't think any other place really has that.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the equipment. What kind of equipment can someone expect at Project 7?
So a lot of the equipment, one might walk in and see equipment that you would see in any other gym, but we do have some adaptive equipment. We have a piece, for example, that was designed by a quadriplegic for a person not only seated in a wheelchair, but with limited hand function. So it has, like a triangle where you can set your hand down and still utilize your upper body to move the equipment. So that's just an example. We have a lot of ergonomic equipment where you can change and add resistance for people of different strengths. So there's just all sort of ways of modifying the exercises.
It's more customizable.
Yes.
For each person.
Yes.
Why was it important to you to start a gym as opposed to just not, maybe you could have made, I don't know, YouTube videos that are educational, or maybe you could have just stayed committed to your own personal fitness in the way that you were doing it before you opened the gym. Why did it matter to you to open a community gym?
Well, first of all, I think I saw the benefit that I was, receiving from focusing on my wellness, and not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. And I saw the quality of life that I was able to achieve. And then in turn, all of the accomplishments that I was able to achieve after that. Just as an example, getting my education and completing my bachelor's degree, getting a job as a head coach of a softball program, that takes a lot of endurance and it takes a lot of health to stay out of the hospital and not fall victim to so many of the, secondary complications that comes with immobility or physical limitation. And I just felt like it was really important to be able to share that and teach people that you can still live a quality-filled life and a full life and maybe even a longer life, ideally, if you take care of your body.
I don't think I'd ever associated it with the ability for you to complete your degree.
Absolutely.
Like, I was thinking more about how you did not the Dancing with the Stars, but it was like the local version of that. When I think of like accomplishments, I hadn't really thought about being able to have the endurance of a full day of classwork.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty major. What are some things that a parent with a child who has a disability might have misconceptions about when it comes to physical fitness, specifically in a gym?
I think that it kind of comes with the same misconceptions that may be perceived about someone with a disability as a whole. And that's, we focus on the disability more than we focus on the ability. And just the word alone is very misconceiving. Disability. Well, what about all that we can do? And I think that it's really important for anybody to focus on the things that they can do. But for someone with limitations, it's even more important. And, for me, I found that I was probably able to do more than what I ever would have realized prior to my injury. So I think that would probably be the biggest misconception, is there's so much that we can do still for our body and with our body, and never mind what we can't do, but let's focus on what we can do to achieve that optimal wellness.
You said I did more than I could have ever realized before my injury. What do you mean by that?
Well, opening a gym, for an example.
Oh,
Did I ever have a dream of being a business owner? Absolutely.
You didn't,
not.
honestly?
No, absolutely not. No.
Oh, in my mind, I've painted a picture of you as this continuously ambitious person.
Well, for me, I was going to play softball the rest of my life, so I'm not really sure. But, when that obviously didn't happen and I started dreaming of all these things, it's like, why can't I do this? I've gotten myself this far and I've taken care of myself, and I'm the reason I get out of bed every single day. So why can't I do this? And I think that's, a misconception.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you right, a parent of a child with a disability might find that child could have a surge in confidence just from doing hard things at the gym.
Absolutely. And maybe, ideally it's about just overall wellness. So let's say a longer life, let's say a healthier life. Let's say they don't, spend the majority of their time fighting the condition. Instead, they're focusing on their wellness and able to achieve more with their mind, body, and soul.
Parents of kids with disabilities have a lot of appointments. They feel parents with kids without disabilities already feel like a taxi service,
Right.
right? And so when you have a child that has more medical complications, there's a lot of doctor's appointments, physical therapy, maybe occupational therapy, equipment appointments. Like you
Yes.
have to, these fancy wheelchairs don't just show up at your
It
door.
never stops. Yeah,
And
it never stops.
And there's always something. And then you have to replace the seat of the wheel. I mean,
Yeah.
and that stuff you can't get on Amazon.
No.
I don't think people realize that.
No, and if you do, good luck.
Yeah. Good luck. It'll last a week.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So the potential for burnout in this area is real. Do you have any insight into how a parent might be able to overcome this with maybe your gym in particular? Because I just feel for parents in this area.
Yeah.
And, I think if a parent, especially if the parent is not an athlete, has never been an athlete, they don't have this athletic mindset that you have.
Right. And, we found that, and I actually worried about that whenever opening the gym. It was like, okay, I understand the population we're dealing with. I understand all these things, but what if we can't find enough people that want to be in a gym? But when you find all the other benefits of being in a gym and taking care of yourself, which we've already discussed, mind, body, soul, I think for a parent, it goes the same for other caretakers. It gives them that moment of, okay, somebody else is working with my child and accomplishing the things that he or she needs to accomplish today. And it gives them a moment to step back. Or, I think we discussed that we have a caregiver membership. So if they want to come in, we have parents and wives and husbands that come in and work out while their loved one is working out. So it gives them also a chance to focus on themselves and have that break.
Have some respite.
Yeah.
I love the double dipping too, because I think busy parents who are also, it's like in the middle of all the things you're doing, don't forget to make money and stay healthy and XYZ. So if they can at least jump on a treadmill while their kiddo is working out at the gym, that's a huge benefit. And what is that like? What do you say? $25?
$25 a month.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's so great. And then they can multitask and not have to worry about the safety of their child.
Exactly.
So, which I find that not just the respite is that benefit, but my brother has cerebral palsy. And so I have found that the community we got from his wheelchair basketball team, one of the side effects, if you will, was we learned how just to chill out.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. And because of that, I can't speak for my brother, but I wonder if, he also felt like, oh yeah, I can figure this out because, we saw it all the time. The kid tips over in the chair, especially wheelchair basketball, right? Because you have to take off the little, training wheel things.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can't play.
Yep.
And parents would just freak out. And once they saw, oh, my kid's okay. Oh, look, that happened to these other 3 kids too. And they're all okay. It's like the wheelchair equivalent of falling and stubbing your knee or whatever.
Yes.
They're like, oh, okay. So there's just a lot more confidence.
And we actually experienced that not too long ago. We had a parent call, and I think the child was 18 or 19, but had not done a whole lot like that, especially without the parent. So, we explained to them, you can, of course, be there. You can be there with her. You can, be of support, but also trust that we know what we're doing. And it gives them not only an outlet to become healthier, but a social outlet as well. And to kind of, get out of the box, because it's easy for us to live in a box of comfort, right?
Yeah, and perceived safety, of bubble wrap.
Yep, exactly.
You've created quite a community since you opened the gym there. I mean, it seems like just from following the gym on social media, it's way more than just a gym. I mean, it seems like y'all are celebrating the highs and the lows together. Can you tell me more about the community that you've built and maybe any more community members that come to mind?
Yes. So going back to, I know we've kind of talked about different accomplishments and things like that. And going back to the same young lady that we were just talking about, at first when she was coming in, she was having a really hard time with her anxiety. And she had not been out of the school system very long, but she had a lot of social anxiety and at first came in and had to leave immediately, and she gave it another chance and gave it another chance. And now she actually just started a peer support group for others living with the same condition that she has. She's looking into starting her own podcast. And I think it's been really a big inspiration for her to, not only become healthier and live her greatest quality of life, but also, become an entrepreneur and help others using what she's learned. So I think that was a huge thing for me to see. And then just a reminder that it's not just about the physical body.
You had me at podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you'd appreciate that one.
Yeah, that was well played. Well played. That really speaks volumes, though, because there might be the temptation for a parent listening to think, well, I already screwed up. My kid's 17, it's too late. But in this case, she was a legal adult.
Yep.
That's major.
Yep.
Yeah. I had a question. It just left me. What's the minimum age for a kid to be able to participate in the gym?
So we can serve anybody 12 years of age or older.
Do they have to have a parent present?
Yes, unless they're 18 or older, we would prefer a parent present, yes.
And you mentioned the peer support group. So the one gym member, she's kind of doing her own peer support group,
yes.
right? But you have one too?
Yes, so we do a community peer support. Is actually open to anybody in the community. We typically find that it's a lot of gym members, but we bring in, we promote it to anybody in the community, and that's for anybody living with a disability and or their caretakers. So that's been really huge for us to all just to kind of be able to connect. And at first we, thought about dividing it by condition, but we learned that no matter what our condition is, we're all able to, sort of relate and discuss certain challenges and resources and, whether it be maybe insurance or, the numerous challenges that we all face, we're able to relate and connect somehow. So it's just been really uplifting, and we've gotten to where we do it every Friday at noon now.
Wow. Okay. So the family members and the members with disabilities, they're all in one group together.
Yes, all in one group together.
Okay. Yeah. That is an incredible resource, and it's free?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So talk to me about the gym membership. How can someone visit for free and check it out, or what's enrollment look like?
So we do a free consultation where they come in and they visit and they can see the gym and talk to the different trainers. We typically assign one trainer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's who they're going to work with. We really try to see what's going to be the best fit personality-wise, all the things that matter. But they come in for a free consultation that can be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. We like to discuss the condition. We like to discuss their secondary conditions. We do, although we're not medical, we do discuss, medications and things like that, just so that we're aware of what we're getting into with that particular client. And we, of course, want to know their goals. Everybody has certain goals. Some's just to be healthier. Some's I want to be stronger so that I can walk better. I want to get out of the chair and back, on a walker or whatever it may be. We like to really, really focus on personal goals. So that's the first thing that we do. We do have, particular packages where clients may have to pay out of pocket, but we also have a partnership with the Northwest Florida Rehab Foundation, and they provide 4-month scholarships for 4 clients every 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that adds up to be quite a few sessions and is really beneficial to our clients.
Do most clients become gym members and it's just, continual, or do they come in seasons, like they'll be a gym member for 6 months and then work out on their own for 6 months, or what do you normally see?
Honestly, it varies. We have a lot that are just consistent. We have so many that actually started with us and are still with us, which is just crazy for me to see. But, we do have some that maybe, have things going on in their personal life or, for medical reasons have to step away for a minute, but they usually come back and realize the benefit of it. But typically we find that they want to be around.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And, we know that gyms that create successful community vibes,
Yes.
those members always do well, because it's, what is that called? Mimetics. You do what you see. And so when you see somebody being unhealthy and sedentary, that's what you tend to do.
Yep.
And so by seeing other people, especially other people that have physical challenges,
Yes.
and they're killing it and they're, high-fiving their trainer because they reached goals like,
Yes.
oh, I want to do that too. So how powerful that is available for students also.
Yes, absolutely. And it's definitely a family. And I think that's the word that anybody that's a part of our gym from bottom to top, that's what they would tell you, is it's definitely a family environment. Everybody knows everybody by name. You'll hear, clients cheering other clients on. And it's just really a really huge support group, from all different aspects.
Yeah. Having walked into the gym during just like a regular day, I definitely heard like one client yelling at the other client, get it, Jim, get it. Come on, push it.
Exactly.
And I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Before we wrap, can you share what the significance is behind the name Project 7?
Yes. So 7 was my number in college. I was a collegiate softball athlete at Troy University, and 7 was my number. So whenever I was thinking of this whole entire concept, I was like, we need core values. So what better than to have 7 of those? That's commitment, determination, faith, fortitude, support, vitality, and wellness.
I love those. Those are so perfect for what you're doing. Before we close, what can parents do as a good next step to get involved? Or maybe people who are not parents of kids with disabilities, how can they support you? I'd love to hear both.
Yeah, I would say, if you're interested in, potentially getting a family member, a loved one into the gym, and, please stop by one of our peer groups. We're there every single Friday at noon. You can guarantee that somebody's going to be there at that time, and you'll, really get a better grip on kind of not just what we do, but the type of people that we support, the type of people that want to be, at our gym, and you might find that somebody can relate to you or your loved one. Give us a call, 850-972-9555. And our email address is connect@the7proj.com. We would love to hear from any of you. We would love to get your kids in there. We've, found that we have most of our kids come in and out during the summer, but, they're obviously welcome at any time, and we would love to meet them.
How can parents support like your fundraiser, basically?
Okay, yeah. So we do a couple of fundraisers each year. The one that we have coming up on April 7th is going to be held at the new Ticket on 9 Mile Road. It's called the Corn Dog Festival.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm sure you can imagine what happens at a corn dog festival, but also they are donating a significant portion of their proceeds to the 7 Project for our 5th anniversary. Also coming up in October, on October 4th, we are doing our big golf tournament, and that's going to be at Marcus Point Golf Course. So you can find all the information at our website, www.the7proj.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was fantastic.
Thank you, Meredith.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and share. Voices United in Education is a production of Escambia County Public Schools.